we are going to discuss about C#.NET and console application introduction. Then we will see programming part in C#.NET. Okay, right. C#.NET. As we know that C#.NET is a programming language. C#.NET is a programming language which is used to write .NET code. So C#.NET is a powerful programming language because C#.NET is equal to C++ plus VB 6.0 plus Java plus additional features. So C#.NET is equal to C++ plus VB 6.0 plus Java plus additional features. So that is what C#.NET is, a most powerful programming language. Using this programming language, we can able to write code in programming part. So programming part code we will write using C#.NET. Okay. Then C#.NET is a purely object-oriented programming language. C#.NET is purely object-oriented programming language, and C#.NET is secured programming language because we are going to provide security more in C#.NET programming language. Okay, it is a object-oriented programming language and secured programming language. So C#.NET is support pointers and C#.NET is support function overloading, and C#.NET will support explicit interface implementation. C#.NET is also support explicit interface implementation. So C#.NET will support multiple inheritance with the help of interface, and C#.NET will support explicit interface implementation also. Okay, so C#.NET is allowed to programmers to write the coding in .NET, and C#.NET will provide very good coding facilities to the programmer. Okay, so in C#.NET we are going to discuss first console application. In C#.NET we are going to discuss first console application. So what is console application? So what is console in this console application? So what kind of programs we will write using console application? Now we will discuss. Console application is a standalone. Console application is a standalone or desktop applications. Console application is a standalone or desktop application. That means standalone or desktop application means the application where we install, where we deploy, in that machine only that application can be able to run. So using this standalone or desktop applications, we cannot share information around the globe. That means it is not a distributed kind of application. Distributed kind of application is nothing but web application. It's not a web application, it's standalone or desktop application. Right. In console application do not support graphical user interface facilities. Console application do not support graphical user interface facilities, and console application is only support CUI facilities. That means character user interface facilities. Character user interface facilities it will support. Okay, console application is a character user interface application. So if you want to give input or if you want to get output, then in console application we should only get characters or should only give characters only. So that is a command line application, command line argument application it is. So console application programs are just like C++ programs. Console application programs are just like C++ programs. In console application, console is a class. Console is what? Class, which is used to work with the input and output stream. In console application, console is a class which is used to work with input and output stream. That means, so in C++, programmers will use cin, cout and printf, scanf for giving input, for reading the data at runtime, for getting the output. So that purpose we use cin, cout and printf, scanf in C++ programming languages. But in console application in C#.NET we use console class. Console is a class which is used to get input and output stream. Then console is present in a special namespace called system namespace. Console is present in system namespace. Without system namespace, we cannot write a programming part in console application especially. That means console class is present in system namespace. So console is used to work with input and output stream argument. And in C#.NET, console is what? Class we can say. Okay, using that class we can able to give input and we can able to get output. But using console class is having internally methods. That methods are, console class is having the important methods write method and write line method, read method and read line method. These are the methods with console class. Why these methods? For giving input or for getting output. Okay, so these methods are used. These methods are associated with what class? Console class. Then firstly we will discuss about write and write line. So write and write line statements are used to print some statement onto the screen. Write and write line methods are used to print some statement onto the screen. For example, if I want to print some statement, so let us write a statement called console.write method I will use. If we use write method, so what is the statement and where it can be displayed here? For example, you can see this console is a class dot write is a method. So here I am going to write some statement like welcome. Okay, some statement I am writing here welcome. So if I am writing the program like this console.write welcome, then welcome is going to be displayed in command prompt, command line arguments. Then welcome is displayed in this output. Then cursor is blinking within the same line. That means what here? For example, one more statement if I write console.write welcome to DURGASOFT. If I write this, then console.write statement and console.write statement here in this welcome to DURGASOFT. So welcome to DURGASOFT will display in same line. If I am using instead of console.write, if I am using line statement, then welcome is displayed in first line and to DURGASOFT is displayed in next line. That means what I meant to say here, write method is used to display the statement onto the screen within the same line, and write line method is used to display the statement within next line. That means line by line if you want to display, then we can use write line statement, and within the same line if you want to display, then we can use write method. Okay, so these write and write line methods both are used to display the statement onto the screen. So write is used to display within the same line, write line method is used to display next line, line by line. Okay, right, we'll see practically, but before that we'll discuss about read and read line methods. What is read and read line method? For example, you can see this, whenever you are giving the values at runtime in console application that you want to read, then we can use read and read line method. But the main difference between read and read line we will discuss now. Okay, right. Read method will read single character. Read method will read single character or next character. Okay, read method will read single character or next character. That means whenever I am going to give the values at runtime, for example, if I am giving values at runtime DURGASOFT, so when I am using read method for reading this text, so it will read D first, and then after U, then after R, like this one by one character it will be read, and next line, next character it will be read. That too, read method will not read directly character value like D, and every alphabetic is having some ASCII value of the character it will be read. What it will read? ASCII value of the character. So read method is used to read single character or next character. Then read method will not read directly character, rather it will read ASCII value of the character. Every character ASCII value it will read method. So ASCII value of the character is what type of data type? That is integer type, because ASCII value is always integer format. Okay, some numbers will be allotted to for every alphabetic. Then integer type. So that is what the return type of read is integer. So return type of read is integer. It will return integer because read method will read single character or next character, but it will not read directly character, rather it will read ASCII value of the character. But every ASCII value of the character is an integer type, so that's what return type of read is what integer we can say. And whereas read line method, so instead of read method, if I am using read line, then read line method will read all characters at a time. That means group of characters it will read, and group of character is in string format. Okay, group of character is string format, so that's what read line return type is string. Read line return type is string. Why read line return type is string? Means read line will read group of characters at a time all together. That group of character is nothing but string format it will read, then read line return type is string format. So using these four methods, mainly important methods, write and write line, read and read line, then we are going to work with console class. Okay, so these methods are associated with console class. Console class is present in system namespace. If you are not giving any namespace related to system, console class doesn't work. Okay, right. So we will see one simple creation of simple application, that is called console application creation. As you know that any type of application if you want to create, then we need a editor tool that is called Visual Studio editor tool. Okay, so we will open to Visual Studio, then after that we will go for creating console application. Now we will check out here. Okay, right. So let's create a simple application. We will see now. Okay, how to create an application in Visual Studio, that is called console application. We will create now. Right. Let's flip to Visual Studio, but before that let me show that how to enter into Visual Studio. There is simple, go to search, then type Visual Studio, then you will be able to see in that Visual Studio versions 2012, 2015 is there. Let me go with 2012, and Visual Studio 2012 editor tool is opening here. But one more way also we can able to enter into Visual Studio, that is let me close it and let's go to run. Let's go to run and type dev statement. That means dev. Dev is nothing but what here? Development environment. So the dev is nothing but what? Development environment. Dev stands for development, env stands for environment. So this dev is an executable file for Visual Studio. Then that's what whenever we are giving dev in run command, then that will be directly target to Visual Studio 2012. Now let's see this when I'm going to open. So it is 2015, it is targeting, it's not a problem. So this is one more way to enter into Visual Studio editor tool. Okay, let's close it here. Let's flip to Visual Studio 2012. Okay, so let's right. So this is Visual Studio 2012 environment. As I told that Visual Studio is an editor tool which is used to write .NET programming part. So Visual Studio is not a free software, it is a licensed software you should purchase from Microsoft. Rather you can install, you can download from Microsoft site, then trial version will be available. Okay, right. So after that you can see the Server Explorer is there in this Visual Studio environment. So what is this Server Explorer? Server Explorer is nothing but, so this is, we can able to manage our database object here. Then from Visual Studio onwards we can able to establish the connection to the database. So Server Explorer is used for that. So we can able to establish the connection to the databases like SQL Server we can able to connect with. Then Toolbox is available right now here, Toolbox. So Toolbox is contains some set of controls here. So like label controls and text box controls and button controls, so many controls are available. But even though when I create a console application, then you are not able to see that any controls in Toolbox, because as I discussed that console application do not provide GUI facilities. Console application is only provide character user interface facilities. So that's what after creating console application, also when we go to toolbox, then toolbox doesn't appear any controls. Why? Because it will not support any GUI facilities. It's only support character user interface facilities, right? Let's mainly here right side corner you can see this Solution Explorer. This is the most important in Visual Studio. Every time any programmer can be managed is files and in Solution Explorer only. So Solution Explorer is contained that what we created application solutions and class files and all folders can be able to appear in this Solution Explorer. Solution Explorer is nothing but just Windows Explorer like that. How we managed the folders, deleting the folder, renaming the folder, creating folder, adding class files, adding folder in Windows Explorer, that we can do with Solution Explorer. Same thing here, but all solution files, class files can be present in Solution Explorer. If you want to any programmer flip to particular class file, then he can go to Solution Explorer, he can click on that class file, then he can be able to flip to that class file. Okay, that is Solution Explorer. But unfortunately sometimes you may not appear here. This is Solution Explorer is not there and Server Explorer is not there, and Toolbox also might be not there for sometimes. So you need not to worry about that. You should collect from again View option. You should go to View option and Solution Explorer, you can click on, it will be appear here. Then after that you can go to Team or Server Explorer, you can go to here, again it will appear. Then after that you can go to Toolbox, also is appear. Everything is available in View option here. And sometimes here you can see this, I am going to drag this toolbox. Here I am going to drag this toolbox. I want to make this toolbox present in right side of corner. Then he can see the drag this toolbox, and after that you can drop into here. Then toolbox is come and it is appear on right side corner. Then now again you want to make in left side only, you can drag. Then you can able to see this, you can drop into here wherever it is required. You can drag and drop for your convenient here. So Server Explorer, Toolbox and Solution Explorer is the main view. Then after that we'll discuss in class view in later sessions, right? So first I would like to create an application called console application. Then let's create an application. But before going to create an application, so I will create one folder. So now you can see this, I will create one folder in new volume. Then let me create a folder called some empty folder. Okay, let's include to create new folder. So new folder name is what here, my C#.net. Let's create C#.net programs. Right, C#.net programs I'm going to create here in EF drive. Okay, C#.net programs. So I will target to this C#.net programs every time. Why? Because I am going to create many class files here, that all class file can be present in C#.net programs. Let's create a simple application. Here I am giving steps to create console application. Click on File, go to New and click on Project here. When we click on project, you will be able to see this one dialog box window that is called Visual C#. We have to select from left hand side. Visual C# is our programming language, because using this programming language we are going to write some programs here. Okay, then .NET Framework 4.5, any framework you want to change, you can go to change here. Then let me create an application template called console application template. Let me select this. Okay, after console application template, click on browse here. Then what we created just now, the folder, I will target to that folder, that is C#.net programs. Just now I created, let me target this folder. Let's select folder. So now onwards, how many applications, how many class files can be created, that can be available in where C#.net programs here. Then console application template you should select, Visual C# you should select, because we are going to work with C#.net program. Then after that location is F drive C#.net programs. Here you would like to change the application name, we can change the application name console app basics. If I change like this, you can give that. Console app basics is our solution name. After that let's click on OK. But when we click on OK for the first time, we will be able to see that existing namespaces and user defined namespaces, system defined namespaces are there. Here all are usings here, using system, using system.collections.generic, using system.link language integrated query, using system.text, using system.threading.task. These are the namespaces by default. When we create for the first time application, then that console application will be available default namespaces, and this namespace is what just now user has created the namespaces. This is user defined namespaces. These are all system defined namespaces, we can say. Okay, so these namespaces are just like header files in C++. We can also call it as class libraries, we can say. Okay, right. So when we create for the first time console application, by default one class will come that is called program. So class name is program, and static void main. So as you know that C#.NET is a case sensitive programming language. You should maintain some capitals and smalls where it is required. So M always should be capital M, and string square bracket args, it is a command line argument. Why? Because console application will provide character user interface facilities. Everything console application programs can be managed characters only. Then string square bracket args is command line arguments. While executing the program, then it is not required, it is optional only. So if it is optional, if you are not giving also, it will work fine, but if you are giving, it's not a problem. Okay, right, it is an optional, we will work, it is optional, right. So static void main, here it is a main method, it is an entry point of this program, and namespace is user defined namespace, console app basics, these are all system defined namespaces. But after that creating, you can see this when we go to Solution Explorer, our solution name is console app basics, and after that you can see program.cs. By default one program came, that class came, that is called program.cs. Here .cs is nothing but what? C# extension. If we may choose VB.NET, here you will be get, that is .vb will be there, program.cs, .vb here, .cs or .vb, anything. We have chosen Visual C# programming language, that's what it is showing, program.cs. CS means C# extension. Okay, right. So let's write some small statement here. When I am going to write console, CONS, then immediately one dialog box came here, bottom corner of the line. This is called IntelliSense or IntelliTrace, we can say. So C#.NET is a case sensitive programming language. So if you ignore by your own typing, then you may get an error. So like that here, if you are giving C capital or C small, when we are giving like this, you will not get, when we are follow the IntelliSense, you will not get any error. Okay, so this is IntelliSense or IntelliTrace, we should follow this IntelliSense. When I am going to type CONSO, then immediately one console is class is appear. Then you need not to keep on continuously typing, then press enter, immediately it will be there. Then console.write. So when I am typing WR, you will be able to get two statements here, two methods, write and write line. Then anything you can consume here. So write statement I am writing, suppose when I am going to write welcome, here you can see this console.write, welcome is there. Okay, the simple statement I have written. Let's run this application. How to run? So there is an option called here start debug, start run the application. Here you can click, or else there is a shortcut key, press F5. Okay, F5. Either you can go for F5 or else you can click on start. But when I am going to run, you can see this, the program is running. The program is running and the command prompt is appearing and it's going immediately. It is coming and it is going, that the screen is not going to be stay back, screen is not going to be appear for long back. Okay, so to make that immediately, console.read method, let me take console.read method I am taking here. When I am going to console.read, you will be able to see that screen is appear but welcome is appear. But let me change that font size for visibility. Let's create 24 like this. When I am going to increase the font size, you will be able to see that welcome is appear. But after welcome, you can see this cursor is blinking in same line, because write statement is used for what purpose? Display the statement in same line. Okay, let's close this. Let's write that one more statement. If I am going to write console.write statement, then if I am going to write welcome to DURGASOFT, welcome to DURGASOFT. Okay, right, some statement I have written here, welcome to DURGASOFT. Let me run the application, console.write, welcome to DURGASOFT is appearing in same line. Okay, that means because of two statements are write statement. But if I am going to write here, instead of write statement, write line, if I am giving L capital. Okay, so C#.NET is case sensitive. So write line statements are both, but you can see this now after executing what's happening. Welcome to DURGASOFT is appearing in next line. Okay, so this is what, but you can see one more important thing. Welcome to DURGASOFT is appear on output window, but if you want to come out from this output window, or else if you want to exit from this output window, there is no option rather than press enter. Only you should press enter, then you will come out from that output window. But why this is happening? Because of read. So when I'm going to, instead of read, when I'm going to take here console dot read key, there is a read key option is there. Then let me run that application. Then if you press any key, then you will be exit from this output screen. That is called read key. Let me press any key from my system, then it will be exit here. So read key is used for what purpose? To exit by pressing any key from keyboard. Okay, right. Then if you are using read, then you should press enter always, compulsory, right? This is very simple program I have written. Now one more important thing is, as I told that console is a class which is used to work with input and output stream, but without system namespace, console class doesn't appear here. You can see this. Let me remove that system namespace. Let me comment this system namespace. How do we comment any line in Visual Studio Console application or any other application? There is a, you can place the mouse pointer or cursor here, then you can click on here commented out the selected line, or else you can press Ctrl plus E, C, then you can see this using system is commented. Again you want to uncomment this, you can able to select here uncommented selected lines, you can see this commented, uncommented. But when I comment, what you are observing here, immediately console statement is showing underlined red text because it is showing an error. But even though forcefully you want to run, then you can able to run that. You can click on run, you will be able to get an output, but you will be get an error messages. What error message we are getting here? You can see this now. So the error messages are like this. Let me show that error messages, what error message we got it. Let me show that. Right. So the name console does not exist in the current context. There are 3 console statements are there, 3 errors are getting here. The name console does not exist in the current context. That means console class is not present in system namespace. That's what it is showing an error. How do we remove this error? Because we should make this statement here, but while running the program it is not allowed to change us anything. But how do we change us anything? Means after stop debugging only, stop running. How do we stop this running? Then you click on stop debugging, or else you can press shift plus F5 to stop debugging, shift plus F5, then you can stop debug. Then you can remove this statement using system I am including, then let me run that, you will be able to get successful run without error. Okay, right. Even though if you are not giving as a header file as a namespace, then you can comment it again. Then I can able to write the statement like this. Every line we can able to write the statement system, and here also we can able to write that system dot console dot write line and system dot console dot read. 3 systems namespaces including each and every line. It will be also working clearly. Okay, so I am not recommending to use this kind of code because not required to increase the more number of lines of code. If 100 lines of console statements are there, then you have to use 100 times system and every time. But instead of this, I am going to give this global namespace here using system is enough. Let's run the application and you will be able to see that. Okay, right. And most important thing is one more thing here. So here how many namespaces are there? By default when we create an application, there are 1 2 3 4 5 namespaces are there. But is that these 5 namespaces really needed to run this application or not? Let me check out. So you can see this console.writeLine console. There are hardly 3 lines of code is there we have written in main method. Then is that required? All 5 namespaces are required to run this program? It's very simple program. Yes, we don't know that. But unfortunately, whenever we remove this all namespaces, might be it is available, relevant namespaces is there or not, we don't know. But how to remove this unused namespaces, unused usings we can say. So how to remove that unused usings? Why we should remove unused usings? Means unnecessarily when I'm going to debug that all libraries will be load, but we cannot use that all libraries except system namespace. We know that clearly system namespace is having console within it. Okay, right. But how do we know that whether the namespace is required or not? It's simple. So right click on any namespace, either it is system defined or it is user defined. Right click on any namespace, and if I want to remove unused usings, then go to organize usings, then option, then you can click on remove unused usings here. Okay, now when I'm going to remove unused usings, you will be able to see this except using system namespace, then remaining all namespaces are gone. That means this, to run this program, just basic program, so with these 3 lines of code, then system namespace only it is required, so other namespaces are not required. So now you can see this run the application, it will be clearly run. Okay, but so this is what we are going to remove, this unused usings which are not useful, which are not helpful to run this program, that can be not available here in this namespaces, because unfortunately unnecessarily we are loading that libraries, but we are not using here. Okay, so this is the way to remove unused usings. How to remove unused usings? Right click on any namespace, go to organize usings and remove unused usings, it will be removed here. Okay, right. So here just I created one simple program, static void main string square bracket args, but as I told that when we go to string square bracket args here, when I'm going to run the application, you can see this, it is running clearly. So by default command line arguments are there, like console programs are command line arguments. Then here static void main string or square bracket is optional to use. If you want to include, you can, otherwise not required. Right. So we have created only one class, that is called program. It is also by default it's came. Now let's go to create another class. So I want to write simple program again. So I want to write one more program here, but how to create an extra class to this existing application, how to add one more class to this existing application, we will see now. There are several ways to add one more class to this existing application. Then first way I will show that, go to solution explorer of your solution, then right click on your solution, that is called console app basics, and you can go to add, then you can go to class. Okay, so simple, go to solution explorer, right click on console app basics and go to add, then go to class. Otherwise you can press shift plus alt plus C, you will be able to get that class dialog window. Then click on shift plus F plus C, then add class. Now you can see this, there is a template called class template. So select a class template, but before that compulsory don't forget to select Visual C# items only, then C# items, that is class template, and by default here class 1 is there. So how many classes you are going to add, like that, class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, like that it will be added. You want to change the class name, then we can give the name. Now you can see this, I am changing the name called sample class. When I am going to add sample.cs, then you can able to add here. But right now I am not clicking on add because I want to show another way to add the class here. Let's cancel this. Then another way also is that simple way, that is called project menu. Click on that and you can click on add class, then you can able to select again class template, and class name you can give clearly that sample.cs. Okay, .cs is mandatory, sample.cs. Let's click on add. Now whenever we add new class to this existing application, then you are not getting any static void main method. Okay, because already that program.cs is having static void main, and whenever I am going to create one more console application, sample.cs, it is not going to be having any static void main class here. Now let's check out whether it is static void main. Here it is not there, but you can go to solution explorer. Here right now sample.cs is one class, program.cs is another class. Already we ran that program.cs. Let's go to write some sort of code in sample.cs, but there are two classes there. As I told that solution explorer is having solution files, how many classes you are adding, that all appear in this console app basics in solution. You can able to flip to clearly, then you can able to check out what class you want to write the program, what class code you want to change easily, that is possible. Okay, right. Let's write simple statement, but you can see this. I would like to write main method like this by typing static void m capital compulsory main. But here I am not taking any string square bracket args, as you know that string args is not optional, not required every time, it is optional. But as a static void main purpose, I typed static space void space main. Then if you want to create a static void main in shortcut way, then you can simply type svm and press double time tab key in your keyboard. Type svm static void main, and double time you can press tab key in your keyboard 1 2, then it is there static void main string square bracket or automatically came. This is the way to get static void main by pressing double tap by after typing svm. Okay, right, let's write some sample program again here. In this program I am going to write how to in the last program what we have seen, how to display some text. Welcome to DurgaSoft is a text format, but in this program I would like to show how to print some values, numbers, integer values. So now that spot I am going to take integer data type is a variable, some 10 I would like to show here. Then after that int is a data type, b is a value, then 20 is data type, 20 is variable here. Two values are there, a and b. I would like to display the two values like this, console dot write line, then value of a is plus a. Okay, plus a is concatenation, we are adding this a value to this statement, then plus a here. Then after that one more value also is there, that is called value of b is plus b. Then to stay back to our screen, console dot read or read line or anything here. Now we have simple program written in second program, that name is what, sample class, and two values I have taken 10 20, that is two values are integer type. Then console dot write line value of a is concatenation a, console dot write line value of b, that is what, console dot read. Let's run this program. To run this program, what I told, you should click on start option or else you should click on F5. There is a shortcut key. But when I am going to start option, what it is showing, so we are getting the previous program output, and you can minimize, then you can check out that what error it is showing. So console app basics.exe has more than one entry point. Let's copy this in notepad for clear visibility. Let's go to notepad, let's copy this for clear visibility. What error we got it here, let's copy that. Now you can see this, the error is there, C#.NET program.cas console app basics object, and compile with the main to specify the type that contains an entry but it is entry point. Now you can see this main to specify, right here it is, console app basics has more than one entry point defined. This is the main, has more than one entry point defined means entry point of the program is what, static void main. Main method is the entry point of the program. When we run the application, a program is going to be start executing from main method. So it is showing what has more than one entry point defined, it is showing. So application name is same, but here two entry points are there. Where do we have two entry points? You can go to Solution Explorer, program.cs is one main method is there, and sample.cs is another main method is there. Then runtime is going to confusion to run which main method. So that is what, as a programmer you should tell to runtime to execute this main method only. That process is nothing but what, changing the startup object. We have to set the startup object to run that clear program. How do we set that startup object? Let's see this here. Let's go to Solution Explorer. Okay, let's go to Solution Explorer and properties, and you can expand the startup object here, not set is there, then expand it, and console app basics is our solution name, and program is there. That program is what, first program, and you want to run what program, sample. Then you can see this sample program and click on save it compulsory, then click on execute, then you will be able to see this values here. Value of a is 10 and value of b is what, 20 here. Okay, these values are coming here. So we execute successfully what, clearly second program of this console application here. Int a equal to 10 and int b equal to 20, console.writeLine value of a is plus a, console.writeLine value of b is plus b. These two values are displaying here. Okay, right. So this is the way to create simple console application, and after creating an application, this is the way to add some class files to existing console application, and this is the way to execute changing the startup object like this here. This is the basic programs. Now you can see this in these two programs. In this program we have given welcome to DurgaSoft. In this program we have given welcome to DurgaSoft text, but in this program we have given some values. Okay, values. So now you can see this. If you want to provide this instead of A10 and B20 I have given, But instead of that, if you want to write only one statement for two variables, if you want to write only one statement for two variables, then how do we write this program? Okay, let's do that quickly. Okay, right. So here console.writeLine, value of A is, value of B is, two statements I have written. Let's comment these two statements. Let's comment this and let's create only one statement within this. Let's write only one statement. Console.writeLine, values of A and B are, values of A and B are, then let's starts with here. Now 0 and 1 are verbatim literal, then A and B, these are what? Variables. Now let's flip to the, let's run the application and check. You can see this value of A and B are 10 and 20 is there here. So this is also we can able to write this here. Console.writeLine, values of A and B are. So here two values are there, two values I have printed within one statement only. This is instead of writing two more line statements. Okay, so this is the way to get this this is the way to print the elements multiple values at running time here. So this is simple basic application, console basic. We have seen here how to create class, how to change the startup object and everything here. Okay, right. So in next session we will discuss how to print the integer values at runtime. That means here integer values have given in this program itself, that is printing. But how to give integer values at runtime, but how to give string values at runtime, we will be discussed. What is the problem when we are giving the values at runtime in console application? So actually the problem is when we give any input values at running time, the application is treated as string format. But even though when we are giving 10, 20 or 50, 100, that will be treated as string format. You should convert that values, those values to convert from string to integer. We have so conversion methods are there. We will be discussed in later session. Okay.